You can have one too. You grown.
We can all
I am
have,
grown.
we
I don't
can
have any
all
cards.
have a
You're a grown
shot.
man.
But as we have a
I think
We
we're
shot,
all have a shot together.
Can someone DoorDash a shot to my house,
let's
please?
let that shot
I got
punctuate us
you.
Yeah, I got
into. Hello, everybody, and welcome to
good
session 20 of D&D. My name is Jacob or JC. I am your dungeon master for tonight, and I'm joined here by four lovely people, hopefully five in a little bit, but Jazz is dealing with the child, and as such, all the leeway is to be given. And but we've got Helminia, James, Alpha, and Cody joining us tonight.
You need to turn your own mic up about 10 to 15%.
Okay. Microphone.
Quiet.
Microphone. Hold on. Let me eat this. Microphone. Microphone.
Perfect.
Perfect amount.
Now just talk into your mic just like that for the rest of the session.
Yes. Let's we'll see how that goes. It sounds fine. Five more. All right. We'll see how this goes. It seems good. I did
That's good.
yeah, that seems fine.
The whole stream as a concept needs to be louder some days, but you're good. My bad, chat. I'm gonna go sit in the corner and
constantly
drink about it.
turning shit down so that I can hear certain people. So technically this stream I could turn everything up, but that's besides the point. We have jumped back in to Usapait. The group is currently underground in Alinar Orin. We're going to go through a quick recap of what's happening, but of course, before that happens, make sure if this is your first time on the stream, whether you're watching live on Twitch or the restream on YouTube, if you're not followed on Twitch, to follow. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, to subscribe. It's free. It lets us know that you enjoy it. We'd be rolling dice regardless, but we'd love to have you here with us. Besides that, let's party. Crisp. Where we that was a good one. Where we last left off, the group was reconvening in the underground of Alinar Orin with two different interactions happening. One, the main group of five that had escaped to the hookah lounge as one of their known methods of escape into the underground. And another who had slogged himself ashore after an assassination attempt or a recruitment attempt gone badly, however you decide to slice it, left Aelin waterlogged and dejected. With a bit of an investigation around, they were frustrated not finding an immediate way out of this underground lake when they were then chastised by a form of a woman standing on top of the water. A quick, cryptic back and forth between the two of them where more questions were raised than answers before they stated that they're too important to be left behind right now, at the very least for the sake of another person in the group. And with one person coming to bat for another, without anyone knowing who is doing what. I'm getting vague just in the recap because of how much mystery this shit's drenched in, and it's making me nauseous, so we're just gonna skip past that. Aelin appeared in their room of the inn, just as the rest of them were knocking on it to check in to see if Aelin had made it to the rendezvous. With this intervention, the group was reunited into one big pile and was unsure about their next steps, but did know regardless that they needed to not be where they were right now. That led them to all move to relocate to another side. The Gorgon's Gaze Inn in order to try and keep a even lower profile than they were currently maintaining. However, one member of the group noticed that they were being followed, and they split up to try and find even more, what do we call it? Peace and quiet away from the bounty hunter rabble that seemed to have been sicked on them. After a long confrontation with the air, where it seems that they may have lost their pursuers, or at the very least couldn't see them anymore, they all settled in to try and figure out what to do next. Unsure of what was to happen, you all knew that at the very least you had to get sleep, as each of you were exhausted in your own way. And while taking a couple watches, you all manage to at some point pass out, where we each got you guys to level 4. Now we come back to where each of you begin arising from your different versions of slumber, whether some people are lightly just drifting in and out before jolting themselves awake in fear for what might be lurking around the dark corner of their rooms, while others, maybe a little bit more unbothered, could have been sleeping soundly. Nevertheless, each of you rouse at about the same time, hearing activity pick up outside in the underground of Alinar Orin. You can hear more foot traffic going to the main no man's land Black Market Square. And as such, maybe the increased activity roused you. Now, with each of you kind of coming to, you have your wits about you, but you don't have your next steps. So, what is next?
I had to do something as we slept through the night. I had one unused roll. Would the folks at home and also in the party like to know what roll I had in my back pocket that went unused?
It has to be either a 1 or a 20.
What roll?
The roll I had in my back pocket was a 2.
Yay!
I was going to use it to hold down the assassin so that you guys could curb stomp her, but someone was a coward about it, so I wasn't able to perform that action.
Oh, weird.
I wonder who it could be.
Yeah, that's
maybe that information should have been shared if they really wanted to use it.
Well, maybe if someone was more confident in their abilities, I wouldn't need to do that. But I also understand you had a lot going on at that time. So I'm going to let it slide this time. Next time, testicular torsion.
My favorite spell.
That's what I picked up at level 4. Anyway.
So, each of you rise, but the floor is yours for what you wish to do. You can hear the people moving around outside. You can hear your companions coming to. Each of you have assigned 2 of you to a room. But as you're coming to, you're able to meet with anyone. You're able to plan anything you need. The floor is yours.
Can I make a... it would probably be investigation. To just double check, take a look around, make sure that like everything is as how I left it when I went to bed.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
I think I did this too quickly after I woke up. I'm still incredibly tired. Because a natural 1 is how we start off today.
Bleary eyes, nothing truly useful can be derived from your search, but you kind of have that more, it helps shake off the morning sleep to kind of idly rummage through waking up your sleeping companion in the process if they weren't already completely up. But nothing is gained.
Then I guess I'd just go wait for everybody else.
All right. If the four of you wish, you can meet down in the half bar that this inn provides, just to kind of gain kind of a perspective for the day. But
Who was I rooming with?
you're rooming with Ophelia.
Okay, dope. Yeah, I guess before we head down, knowing that I'm already with Ophelia, I do want to have a quick conversation, or maybe we should do it with... No, let's start it here. Yeah, if she's not too preoccupied, I'll kind of bring up, hey, one other thing that came out of that divine situation yesterday. I forgot about it, then it came back to me in a dream. The forces that are kind of pushing us seem to think that you know the next step, or at least the next place for us to go. Like we talked about, I think our time at Eleanor Oren's kind of coming to a soft close right now. But what do you think our next step should be, or where we should go?
Where to go implies knowing our next step altogether. As it stands, I don't think we all have a cohesive idea on what we're doing, as some were going north, and my intentions have seemed to shift with some things that have happened in town. My goal for today is to meet with the Mistress and find a map. I think our short-term goals outweigh what we could do next. There's no point in saying a lady should keep secrets. If a divine interference told you I know more than I let on.
I'm not sure if it's that you know more than you let on, or if your own destiny, whatever it may be, is going to push us in that direction naturally. But I don't know. It feels like we really came to the underground without a plan, and it's kind of blown up in our face. If we go to the Mistress with at least an idea of, help us get here, or we're trying to go there, we might have better luck this time around. We could discuss it with the group this morning too.
Well, let's go ask then. And with that, she closes her book and slinks into her bag.
Okay.
I was doing magic stuff.
Well,
I've also attuned to that shard amulet, just to let everybody know. Because no one else was using it, so I might as well use it for today. And if attuning to that blows me up, you gotta let me know. You have to tell me if you're gonna make me explode.
I legally get to know if I explode or not. No explosion. But the four of you are able to meet at the half-bar counter. There's no kind of larger tables here. It's just a long counter for drinks to be doled out on. But it creates enough of a meeting spot for those of you that are rising at the same time. Glaerun, Ophelia, Valden, and Aelin to collect themselves. With that, the four of you are collected at this counter. Looking around, there is a sparse bit of attendees here. It actually seems that with the early morning, less people visit the Gorgon's Gaze than the closer to evening that you were originally here. But there are still a couple elves kind of moving around here. Most you can see kind of through the bartender of being a wood elf descent, a male with kind of a little bit longer hair that goes into a ponytail that just goes a little bit past his back, and a duo collection of a couple half elves, both women that are kind of looking like they're gearing up. They look like they're putting, like packing 2 sacks that they look to sling over their backs and head somewhere. But not even when you seat yourselves at the counter does the bartender pay you any mind, and these 2 women don't seem to take note of you as the 4 of you collect yourselves at the actual side of the bar.
Can I make an insight check to see if that's like intentionally ignoring us or just ignoring us out of disinterest?
Sure.
$15.
15. As you kind of look over, as you're not doing any kind of obfuscation, you're just looking inquiringly at the bartender. You do catch his eye, and it does seem that he was waiting to be called for. As he kind of looks up and like raises an eyebrow as if he's waiting for you to start speaking, and then in the bit of time that you don't, he just kind of puts his head down and keeps working.
Cool.
So he does still seem to be at beck and call. It's just he's not gonna walk up to you. He's waiting to be called for.
Yeah, cool. Good morning. Everyone rest well enough?
Sure. Can I flag down the bartender and get like some sort of coffee and or tea and or something else that's not an alcoholic beverage to have in the morning?
Hey, JC, roll a d20 for me.
Oh.
No, why?
Come on, just roll a d20.
No, I'm the DM. I get to make ultimatums, not you.
Look, I need it. It's
10
not an
million
ultimatum. I
psychic
just
damage.
need it for something.
You're able to flag down the bartender. It'd be a copper for some coffee.
Okay, fine. I'll watch this.
Fantastic.
Do it. Do it twice.
Oh, there we go. James, you got a 7. Helminia got a 15.
Okay, I'm good. The D20 roll was to see if I ordered a beer for breakfast.
Oh god.
Hell yeah.
I rolled a 19 on the dice, and therefore am not ordering a beer for breakfast.
I'm not an alcoholic. I'm an enthusiast.
I
Dedicated,
am
promise.
also in immense pain.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be fun, but I guess fun's not free anymore. I had to pay points for it.
You're not telling
That's
me
real stressful.
stuff.
I'm gonna order a beer because of how stressful that was.
Sounds
I'm gonna go
good.
beer for breakfast.
Shilling out a copper for some ale as well.
I don't have any
Can
coffee.
I get a tea
Okay,
with some like
there it
brandy in
is.
it? Just like a little bit, like a shot.
I think I have Ophelia's copper.
Yeah, you have 8 of them.
Yeah. I'll buy your morning beer.
buy a
With
mug
your,
of
with your
ale.
gold, or with your money.
Some brandy would come for 2 copper. The brandy tea.
Perfect. I'll give Ophelia the 6 copper pieces back as well.
Okay.
I think these
For your
belong to you.
alcoholism.
Yeah.
Look, it's this or the pipe, and
Bartender quickly gets to work as he sets coffee in front of one, ale in front of another, and tea that he then pours some dark liquor into for a third.
who's getting the hot toddy?
It's
Me,
get placed in
course.
front of Glaerun.
Yo, I should have got one of those.
Didn't know you were cool like that. So where are we going? What are we doing? I think being here is a bad idea, but going somewhere else is also probably a bad idea.
I think
What are we
we
gonna
should
do?
try to get out of the city to the north.
Okay, one vote for the north.
I don't think the north is going to be the most welcoming to Ophelia and I. I have concerns about what we'll find up there. On top of that, with an experience I had yesterday with a divine being, they recommended the the usual riddles and whatever that they give out, but that those who know the underground the best will know the next step we should take, and I believe that was referencing our very own Ophelia here. So I think maybe we try to get out of Alnor Orin without burning another bridge, and then maybe wherever fate takes Ophelia, we should try and follow.
I'm not so sure I want to. How would you suggest we get out of town that way then?
That I think is still to be determined. I think maybe we try establishing a meeting with the mistress today and see if we can be of any service to her and synergistically make our way out of this place.
Do you really want to get tangled with another faction down here after what happened with the last one?
We were indebted to the last one. It won't be the same this time.
How do you
I don't
suppose
know
we
how
should
much
try and get
that's
out there?
true. I would like to do a little bit of research at the local library and see if maybe there's other ways out of town.
You can get me a map or two while you're there as well.
I suppose I could make that happen.
One of the continent, one of the city, if you don't mind.
Would Glaerun just have a map of the continent, maybe?
I mean, it's not currently something in your inventory.
No, that's fine.
I do, but it doesn't cover this part of the world.
It does not.
I think I can do that. Does anyone want to go with me?
I'll go with you. I have nothing better to do with my day. No offense.
All the way taken.
I'm just gonna look at Ophelia and look at the beer and look at Ophelia and turn back to Glaerun.
If you're going to try and meet with the mistress or whoever today, try not to mention us by name, or at least me. I don't really want to get tangled in with another group.
I think maybe we can allude to the size of our party, but I'm sure they would understand a little bit of discretion.
I'll be doing some cursory things today. And with that, I'm actually going to wait here. I probably should be getting a message soon if she's interested.
Valden's going to drink the rest of his tea, or Glaerun. Valden, do you want to come with me, shall we?
Glaerun, we shall.
Great.
All right. So it sounds like half of the group is going to go back up top, heading to the Grand Library, and the other two are going to wait and bide their time, hoping for a message from the mistress. All right. any anything you explicitly want to do on your path to the library? The library is up closer to the northern, specifically more of the northeastern section of the city. You'd have a little bit of a walk there, and is there, just let me know a way that you'd like to approach this. Obviously, the way that you know out is through the hookah lounge, which is basically on the border of the North and Southern Territory.
Yeah.
But just let me know how you two would like to approach it.
Yeah. To the best of my knowledge, what kind of like clearance does it take to get into the library?
So, there are a couple ways to get into the library. Either through gaining entrance through one of the sanctioned teleportation circles that are inscribed within the library. That's instant access to the basic sections. Otherwise, it would be through submitting a... subpoena is the word that came directly to my head, but basically an inquiry into the library for information. And at that state, you'd be guided around if it was accepted, if the inquiry was allowed. And the other way would be through status, through presenting either a some proof of scholarship, some proof of status that would entitle you to the knowledge of the Grand Library. Those three ways are the kind of trifecta.
Would my ring be enough to get me in?
It's definitely a possibility, although you have not tried it yourself at the moment. But that is some sort of status.
Okay. And that's as simple as going up to the door and requesting access in, or do we have to go somewhere special to do that?
It would be going to the entrance, the lower entrance of the library, because obviously the reception area is in the library proper. But that reception area would be either where you announce your status or submit your inquiry.
Perfect.
Would the status get us access to the whole library, or is it
Depending.
status and what do you want to go see?
It depends.
Okay.
Glaerun would be aware of this, of, like, obviously if a member of the Republic's Council came in, they would theoretically have unfettered access.
Right.
However, if let's say the chief architect of a city came in, well, they're meant to be there for specific business, and so would be guided to the section that they'd have unfettered access to. But the chief architect has no business going through battle records.
Right.
And so if the architect wanted to look at ancient battle records, they'd have to go back to the start, submit an inquiry, and wait for either a low season or just to get through the line of people. So an inquiry basically would put you in a queue for review. And then once it's reviewed, if it's deemed not an issue, then it would be approved and you'd be led through to the section that you're inquiring for.
Okay. Cool. Hopefully the ring will be enough.
Okay. So, the two of you exit the Gorgon's Gaze and are making your way back up to the hookah lounge that you know is your passway between the underground and the above. Once you actually step out into the morning air, you can feel a little bit of the energy shift. Although, with the underground, it came with the general, I guess, uncomfortable preparedness that you'd get in a place where everyone has some sort of wrongdoing tied to their name. The above ground is odd because of that alertness, that anticipation that happened. Stepping out in the southern region, there had been what has been now chalked up to, unaware to the rest of you, a riot breakout that had to be quelled by the city guard, and as such, no immediate cause was happening. This rumor of people talking about rotting bodies attacking people that spread like wildfire through the southern district has been discounted, but people's imaginations, no matter how learned and older a person might be, can still run wild. And so everyone is on alert at the moment. Everyone's on edge. And you can, even as you're beginning to walk through the street, hear people whispering to each other of different rumors of what might have happened, and people guessing about how many got hurt during the riots and how many people are currently held in an infirmary for healing and different things. An event happened, and it seems you missed it, or one of you missed it. But the two of you heading straight to the library?
Unless Valdin has somewhere they want to stop specifically.
No, but I want to make sure we're not being followed again, even though I think we probably are / will be.
Okay.
I would like to be privy to that information.
Please, roll me a perception.
Have some advantage.
Yay! Nine... 19?
This is very different.
Not 9. 19.
19.
19.
As you look around, you can see plenty of people taking note of just such a juxtaposition. One person in armor, polished and shiny, and the other person in a kind of dirtier cloak following by. You two do stand out, if for no other reason than two people that look so diametrically opposed stepping in step with each other, going somewhere with purpose. But none of these looks that are finding you are familiar.
Okay.
None of you, nothing that you immediately see would be indicative of a pursuer, and you do seem to be unbothered at the moment.
No, like, rooftops or alleyways that are a little more purple than usual?
No purple rooftops, nor alleyways. Okay. You seem unbothered.
Okay. Then, tally-ho, as they say.
Tally-ho indeed. After a little bit of walking, I'm gonna roll this. Cool. You guys are back in the gilded, nicer-looking northern region, even passing by about 5 to 6 blocks away from where that lord's houses are. Those larger 3-story houses. Where eventually you start seeing this larger, looming building. One of the 2 largest buildings in Alinor Oren. The only one holding a candle to it being the Usapait's People Bank, and this one, the Grand Library. As each of you kind of step up to it, it's not even going to the base of this massive building that has been talked about and you've known about. It's more of stepping to a satellite building one that's still a good distance away, but still has plenty of trimmings and performance of its own. Kind of large, rectangular, and tapestries, metal trimming. You can see different words in Elven, Sylvan, basically any derivative language that would relate to Elvish, speaking different monikers about recollection, learning, and wisdom that's passed on through reading and oral stories. As you kind of move up and step into this building, it is a very well-maintained section of the city. While the rest of it, the more discerning eye could see it as gilded, this is truly both an older part of the city and truly a place that does not waver in its commitment to the art of learning. The area before you, unfortunately for some, might remind you of a of like a waiting area. You can see different sections where chairs have been set out along the walls, and you can see a kind of shifting line brought through, and you can see individuals of different robes, some with collections of scrolls and books, scholars, students of all different shapes and sizes. This one piece of Alinar Oren does seem to break out of the mold that you're seeing around here, and you gain a almost subconscious knowledge that people are here at Alinar Oren. This large swath of type of people are here in Alinar Oren in spite of the city, not because of it. The library drawing them in, and them trying to stay as far removed from it as possible. However, due to the circumstances surrounding the city, this waiting queue must be one of the shortest it's been. Actually cut down in large masses. The people waiting around are in larger quantity than the people actually standing in line waiting to submit an inquiry or declare status themselves. Only a couple people that you are able to shuffle in and wait behind, as you can see them either, in the case of one, olive-skinned human with a strip of hair kind of surrounding his scalp with the top of it being bald, setting down scrolls and kind of talking in a hushed tone to the teller. This very long, like very tall, lithe-looking high elf woman with stark, kind of silvered white hair that goes up into a tied-off ponytail that then seems to almost unnaturally hang as though it's like starched up, as she takes note of all this, writes down something, maybe taking note of the scrolls that he's talking about, rips off a tab of paper and then hands it to the man. And you can see the man kind of nod, almost accepting whatever fate he's been given, gathers up the couple scrolls he has into a bundle on his arms, and then moves over to one of the waiting sections. There's a section of time that the two of you are waiting if there's any preparations you need to wait for the last three people to get filtered. Any conversations or stories you need to get straight.
Yeah. Alright, Valden, I'm gonna do all the talking, okay? You're my manservant. We came from Ella's Ero. We're here on a whim because I wanted to do research into the town's history and architecture. Okay?
We're here for... First off, can we be like friends or something? I don't want to be your slave. Can we be like buddies or something?
We can try that if you want, but I don't know how believable that story is.
Yeah. Okay. Why, we're architecture? What are we here for? Who are we here for?
We're just here because I'm one of those, empty-headed nobles who just gets wild hair and wants to go and do research into, the strangest topics, like, for instance, the history of the town and the architecture, things of that nature.
Mm, okay. JC, can I get out my special little notebook
Of course.
and simply ask into the ether, to no one specifically, because why would there be anybody connected to this book? And ask, actually, I guess I'm not really privy to the information that we would need. Some sort of credentials to get in here. I guess I don't just know that.
You're not sure. Every bit of information that I've given you has come from Glaerun, technically. Because Glaerun does have the foreknowledge of how to get in.
Right.
He's just not sure if his ring is enough.
The plan is I'm going to use my status as a noble and possibly my pedigree with the church to try and leverage our way in.
Right. Can I ask the regular ether book to maybe try and write or forge some sort of university document that I go to school for architecture and just see if that works. I might be out crazy on a whim, but
Make an Arcana check.
holy shit. Okay. I figure I might as well try. Oh. 16.
16.
Oh shit.
You kind of absent. Are you speaking out loud to the book, or are you writing in the book?
No. I'm writing this question in the book.
Okay. You write this in, and this is kind of you're doing that as you're having the conversation of can't I just be your friend with Glaerun? And as you guys kind of get more into the weeds of that conversation, you kind of absentmindedly close your book. And as another spot opens up and you guys are 2 people away from finishing or coming in there, you almost feel a pressure, kind of as if the book is open or you're holding a pad of paper in your hand, and then someone is pressing a pen or a pencil into it, and so your hand kind of wavers a bit. Unnoticeable to most people. But you notice because you have this pressure along the side of your hand, and as such, once it stops, you kind of pull it open, and almost like one of the pages has become, or was never bound in the first place. There's no ripping sensation. It's just almost as if you open it, it begins to fall out. You see a interesting document.
Okay.
A very interesting document falls out, and what languages do you speak?
Common, Thieves' Cant, and Elvish.
You can't read this.
Oh god, that's not good. Okay.
As Glaerun, you see Valadin kind of open a book, and a page falls out that he catches and then kind of looks at confusedly.
What's that you have there?
What do you think I have? And I'm gonna pass the paper to Glaerun.
Can you read Sylvan?
No, I have Common,
it.
Elvish, Aquan, and Celestial.
That's
It
not
looks
good,
very official.
but I can't.
Where did you even
necessarily-
get this?
Oh, I've just been around. Um, uh, I'm gonna put the paper in my bag, and we're gonna go with Glaerun's plan. Actually, the receptionist or whoever's at the front desk is an elf, you said, right?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
They might read Sylvan, you don't know.
But I don't want to like.
This is up to you. That's now part of your toolbox.
Yeah.
There's a
I'm-
sheet of Sylvan paper. Or
Very official
Sylvan,
looking
yeah, official Sylvan written paper.
Are there any words on it we could catch, like French to English type shit?
You know what? If one of you want to do a nature check, give her a rip.
It's 0.
Give her a rip.
Mine's 1, so I guess I'll do it.
Give her a rip.
Yeah, there's nobody more naturist than me. I got an unnatural 20.
Shit, not bad. DC
I'm
was
feeling very
17
nature
to
today.
get some words out of it.
Holy shit.
You derive a couple of things because Elvish and Sylvan are tied together. There are a couple words between the two languages that are similar. You see, it could be a it could either be learning or academic or something of that. Word is
Okay.
seen near the top. Another one is the basically a near one-to-one, but it's basically like the how gold ingot in German is Goldenbarren,
Right.
where it's where its excellence can be seen. You don't recognize the general, like, you can see some things are names in it, like there's assigned like a signature across it in very eloquent calligraphy. You can't, there's no recognition of what name it is. And from the general formatting, you can see that there is some sort of title given at the top. There is a section where it looks similar to your name. There is a like almost dotted, like punctuated list of things down there underneath your name, and then there is a very eloquent signature. And
Okay.
you've gleaned from the top bit that there is, at one point, there's something that is either scholar or academic, and at a different point, you've got excellence somewhere in there.
Okay.
I'm still chuckling at Golden Baron, I'm sorry.
But we said that I was Glaerun's slave.
Manservant. There is a big difference there.
Okay, sorry.
You're not a
Um,
slave, you're an indentured servant.
Yeah, right. Very different. But if I'm an indentured servant, I probably
Well, if you could, like, describe what the document is loosely, we can change that, right?
Yeah. Or I could be like a apprentice of somebody that you're working with who's keen on architecture, and that's important to you for some reason.
The line moves up 1.
Fuck.
The only issue I see with that is if we're asked who the architect is.
I don't know. I'm putting the paper in my bag, and I will be an indentured servant until we get put in jail and killed.
That would never happen. It'll be fine.
Things like that never happen to people like us, right?
Alright, let's go get in line.
All right. The final person finishes up their stuff, and you two step forward. The elven woman kind of looks up, although her face is still looking down at the desk. Her eyes kind of look up at the two of you. How may I help you?
Hello, yes. I am Glaerun Wraithran of House Wraithran, hailing from Alis Era, and I'm requesting access for me and my manservant to do research into the architecture and history of this great town.
Make a deception check for me.
That's literally what I'm here for. But I am. That's fine. Oh, 19.
You just sound so upset until
I
you
forgot
roll
I'm a
well.
charisma build.
You said 19?
Yeah.
Okay. As she looks like fully up from the desk and levels her eyes at you. Proof of identification.
I'll present my ring.
She holds out her hand to take it.
I'll hold out my hand. You can look at it, but don't take it off my hand.
She pulls out and kind of sets forth a small card. And you recognize it instantly. It's a certification for low-level magic. As she basically runs a small arcane almost fan comes out as she kind of divides two of her fingers. You see like this almost pink web of arcane magic as she almost like runs it past the ring, almost scanning it, or of something of a similar vein, before you see like the little twitch or buzz that you're familiar of, like some sort of arcane tick coming in, some sort of new information has kind of crossed her mind. As in an instant she kind of nods. This is for pleasure then, Mr. Wraithran.
You could say that.
Got one more roll that happens. Okay. Will you be expecting to stay in the library long then?
Probably for most of today.
She pulls out a quill, kind of scratches something in, and then as you expect for her to rip it off and hand it to you like she has to the other four people, it like flash paper kind of like sends up in her hands as she gestures over to another section where you can see only one other person is currently sitting. If you'd please wait there. Someone will see to you shortly.
Thank you. Come along.
I will give the elf like a head nod of thanks. and come along.
Let's go sit down.
All right. As the two of you move to sit, the only other person that is over in this section stands out like a sore thumb. I would even say possibly more than the two of you, because at least the two of you are of Fey descent. His feet kind of swinging off the ground, but the massive wooled cloak that would not be comfortable in this kind of current weather does touch the ground and would certainly make some sort of cloth soup around him as he walks. You can see a old, very pale-skinned dwarf with a large white beard that curls into his lap and a large wooden staff with a blue inset crystal that's just waiting. As the two of you sit down next to him and the three of you are now in the waiting room. You feel, just for a moment, the eyes of this dwarf kind of look the two of you up and down, but then without saying a word, he returns to just kind of waiting.
He's not anyone either of us have seen before, is he?
No. Not even enough, not famous enough here for either of you guys to get a roll from your present locations, or history. With that, you guys have a bit of a wait to do. And as such, we're going to go back to the underground. Ophelia, Aelin, the two of you are simply waiting at the half bar of the Gorgon's Gaze?
No. Aelin, you play an instrument, correct?
Jesus, dude, that's a hard question.
Who was I playing music with?
Technically anybody can play an instrument.
Are you proficient with an instrument and have one in your possession?
That is a better question. No.
Okay. So it'll be me by myself today. We're having cultural enrichment time while we wait. So I'm going to give you some Dark Elf County tunes on my hurdy-gurdy while we wait. And, you know, maybe I'll get some money thrown my way from some of the other patrons in this half bar. We'll see.
Find
Oh,
out.
can I be the guy with the cup that goes around and collects the money?
And shakes it.
Well, we don't have
Yeah.
to, but, like, my ale cup here is next to me, and it's empty, so...
You're welcome to roll a performance check.
I am going to.
The bar is near empty, be warned.
That's fine. It'll be okay if I'm, like, absolute dog shit. It's mid 13.
13? Alright. Well, although you do get some questioning glances from the bartender, no one is raising an objection to this influx of culture from the hurdy-gurdy. As you...
Like questioning, or they're like, it's not that bad, I'll live.
It's not a... It's more of just surprise, more than anything. It's not a disappointment, nor is it a... nor is anyone blown away. And after a few minutes of it, possibly making them wait a little bit longer, the two half-elves do finish packing their bags, but as they move out, no immediate coin enriches your cup.
That's fine. I was doing it just to pass time.
Indeed. And over this past bit of time, you two have some memories to kind of look back on and digest as you're waiting to see if anything happens. And at the very least, you will have about 40-45 minutes available to you before something would interrupt you. If something would like to be brought up first. Otherwise, we'll let that near hour pass you guys by.
Would like to yeah, I guess have a brief conversation, thinking about the the dialogue I had with the divine being still. I think yeah, after the culture, winds down, I'll just be like sitting at the table, just like patting chest, hanging out, and I'll ask Ophelia, "Hey, uh, how do you do that thing where you like think ahead so much in fights and have plans in advance?"
How do you do that thing where you swing your sword with the conviction that you'll see tomorrow's light? How do you trust your hands to hold your shield steady and your body to hold strong?
Well, because I have to. It's what I know.
You have your answer.
Is there a way I can learn, or maybe I don't know. I have it works until it doesn't, right? And I don't want to fall victim to history repeating itself um, when it doesn't happen again or doesn't work again.
You'd like me to teach you forethought and caution?
Well, I don't know. I don't know enough about the people in this land and the culture, I think, to be prepared for everything. But I suppose there's like so much that you can, teach me without being on my back at all times.
If there's one thing you should know about lands that you don't know, is that people will always seek to harm you wherever you go. The world is, after all, cruel and unforgiving.
I think that it is.
So
Yeah.
to have the thought and conniving nature that I have, you have to be aware of that fact at all times.
Remain skeptical and always be searching for another way out.
Look for a way out, remain skeptical. Take stock of what you do best. The moment you begin to doubt what you can do is the moment you become unable to do it. And that way your conviction needs to be stronger. Swing your weapon harder, fight harder.
Yeah.
But if you'd like planning, I'm more than happy to show it. Take a look at this inn.
Oh.
Describe this inn for me.
As the two of you look around, you're in a smaller half-bar section. So what that entails is there is a shelf of different kegs to be tapped, glasses and bottles of liqueur and wine to be moved into. But besides that, and the counter that extends from it, with the stools that two of you are taking up a bit of time, about 9 stools total, there is that standing area made for people to kind of catch their breath, catch their bearings. Maybe bags be thrown there as people go to the bar to get a drink. But the area itself is relatively small, just over 10 feet of space coming from the counter. It would fill up quickly if there were a lot of people here. The only other option that you guys would have is to go to the left, where the exit is to that porch that you were standing on beforehand, or you could go up the stairs that would lead you to the bedrooms that you all were making use of this morning.
Let's say, for instance, something were to happen in this space as we are now. There's not much cover to take from different things outside of the counter itself, and as well as things that could be a benefit or negative to us. Everything behind that counter is flammable, and some of them might even explode if dealt enough fire influence in a short amount of time. The stools feel sturdy enough. Throw enough along, you might obstruct a path just enough to get up to the stairs. There's windows up there. The fall's not that great. Memory serves me correctly. Behind the building, there should be a place where they discard their trash. That would break your fall well enough.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't even considered up the stairs and out the back. I would have tried a window.
Turning your back to others is not always a good idea, but sometimes we have to make choices and think about these things. What may be more beneficial? What can we lose to gain more?
Hmm.
What
Is there a cut there? Am I tripping?
It sounded like there was a cut.
Give me a second. I'm having a
It's-
technical
It
difficulty.
sounded like someone
Okay.
dropped a drink on their microphone.
I didn't drop a drink. I got a visitor.
Ah!
Fine.
Guys.
Yeah. No, I didn't want you to hear my shit in the background.
yeah. Mom, get
It's
out
about-
playing Minecraft.
It's about weighing your options and what you can lose and what you can gain. In my instance, spellcraft may be powerful, but it has limitations. And as we go along, ask me about it more, and I'll tell you how I get out of situations. In exchange, well, I think you already do me a great deal of service.
Oh, there's always more I could do. Yeah, I've never been good at this the small close quarters stuff. Yeah, in my past life it was always larger scale, so it's been tricky, the smaller operations and more covert activities. But yeah, this has been a good exercise in situational awareness, and I think like you said, weighing options and turning back now to face again later.
It's also important to have blind faith at times that you will live to get through this.
Yes, yeah, that is true. I worry after what I've seen. Sometimes that shakes sometimes, but I try. Yeah.
And one
Yeah.
day you'll decide that there is no try, only do. I will survive. I will get out of here. I will make my claim. And that's a tool in of itself. The blind conviction of your own abilities does wonders for their merit. But confidence is also a slow and insidious killer.
Mm.
Trademarked.
I suppose.
Darkest Dungeon for the folks at home.
I suppose it is just another dichotomy that we're forced to look at, but that is good. I'll try and be more confident in my approach to things. It is definitely something that I've lost over the years, but the trust with the team that we have, maybe it'll naturally grow back.
I wouldn't put your trust in them just yet. Some of them seem to be lacking, some of them addled, and others, well, maybe a mix of both.
Yeah,
But
that's
they'll
true.
do.
But yeah, as it is now, it's who we have, right? And if they're at the very least just a vessel to get to the next location, or to have the conversations with people that respect them, then I suppose that's the purpose they serve in our story. But yeah,
I guess speaking of what comes next, you asked me many things about my sordid past. What is your next step? What is your goal in all of this? Outside of the city, yes, but why are you here?
I've been sort of led on a very open-ended quest, I suppose. After the I don't know, massacre that I went through in my homeland, and turning to the goddess that I did, I learned of beings that are too prideful, like you say, that they're too confident, and they've been granted power, whether by insidious means or by honest means that have rotted over the centuries, or even decades, I suppose. But these beings that are falsely worshipped or idolized by the locals. The goddess that I believe in seems to think that they're causing more harm than good, and perhaps the grief that's left behind in their wake should be dealt with more proactively. And so I've been sent here to, I suppose, monitor and intercept when I see it. But honestly, it's a much larger task than I had initially believed it to be. But my next step, I think, is if we can get more information on this this Creed fellow. He's definitely on the list, and I assume there's plenty more of his type around this land. So travel and see what I find.
In a moment of weakness, the divine descend upon you to send you on an open-ended pilgrimage of blood and judgment. How I truly love their musings.
Yeah, it's rather there's a pattern to be recognized at some point, but at some point we are all just cogs in a machine of destiny. So I'll play my part when it's given.
As long as our interest. Oh.
The door interrupts you as it opens, and you watch as a individual, this elven man, half elf, brown hair, short, obscured a bit by a wide-brimmed hat, a kind of black dyed or maybe even exceptionally dirty with dust shirt. You wouldn't be sure until someone runs a hand along it, covering his chest. And at his side is a hatchet, basically showing these engravings kind of clipped onto a belt that he has. These the sounds of his booted footsteps as he kind of steps over to the half bar but leans against the doorway. I'm here responding to a letter.
Yes, that would be from me.
Good. Kind of looks around the half bar. I was told to expect more people. You lost that many so easily?
They're expanding our options in the way that they are able to. As not all of our retinue are condemned from the surface. Mostly just myself and him. So we thought we'd do what we could do in our own way.
Well, not my choice. You do what you want to do. And it seems that a shift of your alliances might be what's in order. Step with me if you can, and a small window of opportunity might open for you. Who am I to say if it does, but you have someone's ear.
Just a moment, let me put my shoes on. And I'm gonna slide it into the bag.
Alright.
I'll pick the bag up.
Easy enough. I was told you're a interesting group. Even with only the Shavens left, I see that holds true. He jerks his head off towards the opening of the door. Follow me. And as he steps, if you wish to step with him, the three of you are going to exit the inn and step into the streets. Whereas one group made a left to go towards the Hookah's Lounge, you guys hang a right, go to the other side of the bend, and go deeper into this territory. From side to side, you see different places of gathering. Not necessarily rest. The difference needs to be made. There are different ways to sate one's social battery. You can see simply gatherings for tests of athleticism. You can see gatherings for basically setups for making food. You can see different arts taking place. You can see basically different gatherings of people. Trade is still being made, but it's in a different sense than the quick go here, get some supplies, give some coin. And generally speaking, a couple, I guess, people, when they come and join the groups, every once in a while you catch the flash of a notebook. You catch the detailings of notes that are passed around as conversations are being struck up. And
Can I
well, you
roll
two
to kind of get a better look at one of the notes?
Did you want Aelin to step by one of the groups so you can try and look over at their notes?
No, I'm just gonna try to eagle-eyed, like off a glance if I can.
All right. Best of luck.
I'll
Make a
take an
perception.
absolutely heinous DC. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna find out. I mean, it's not the most heinous DC, but it's not nice.
I'm not expecting this to go in my favor.
But we'll find out.
23?
23. You know, I gotta give that to you. As a DC 20. There are 4 things being discussed right now. Let me see which one there is. Okay. You look over. This is a group of people that appeared to be basically sewing a couple things together. You see patched clothes, different bits, and they've all kind of gathered on a large blanket, almost like a picnic, to patch up these articles of clothing. And as one individual, a human girl that doesn't look like she'd be over like 14 or 15 years old, kind of comes in with a heavy satchel and kind of sets it down and takes a book, and in each between pages of the book she takes out these sheets of parchment and kind of doles them out. And as you look, as one person kind of racks the sheet and kind of holds it up, obviously looking a little bit closer and being a little bit more obvious about it because of the younger handwriting. They obviously, with only 15 years under their belt, they haven't had time to develop a very clear penmanship. And with it, you're reading in Elvish a documentation of certain people who have been accepted for emigration, is what is being called for. People, you basically are seeing a list of people of people, what they're paying, and whether they're taking family with them, and what they're paying for family members to. The word that keeps being used on this sheet of paper is to emigrate southward. And it looks like you're looking over a list of people being smuggled. As she's passing out these sheets to people. You step by, and the main thing that you guys notice throughout this is, well, no one immediately here and present strikes a pattern of recognition with you. None of them stand out. None of them draw your eye as being particularly as being remembered. Although I'd say closer to 80-85% of them, when they look at the two of you, either one, the other, or both of you, a small twinge of recognition crosses their face. As if you don't know them, but they've heard about you. Through some way, some path. This network of information has made it to them before you've recognized a soul.
Are there any mutterings going on that I could ear hustle in on?
They don't talk unless if you're staying around, and as you're being led, there's not really time to do so. And the reason that the best information you're picking up is from reading over someone's shoulder before they've noticed you, is that they all immediately stop discussing what they're discussing. They see that you're being led, they see that you're going somewhere, and either because you have not been explicitly put into their network and classified as safe, they're not speaking around the two of you. This is very obviously closer to the deeper layer of this section of the underground. And
So
as
it's kind of
such,
like a
they're
weird wave
way
of
less
silence.
open. Yes. And the wave of it goes for as far as you can see. Where there's people that looked like they were conversing up until you got close. And you're sure that they look away from you afterward, but you wouldn't be able to tell yourself. You just have to convince it after they've left your line of sight. And through all of it, your guy just kind of doesn't account for any of the intense looks you're drawing. Kind of almost hunching his shoulders forward, kind of hooking his thumbs onto the side of his belt as he walks forward.
And you said he was a half-elf man or a wood-elf man?
Half-elf.
Okay. I have him in my notes as a swarthy half-elven man armed with a hatchet.
Hatchet man.
I have very similar, but also kind of dirty. Very
Possibly
important.
dirty.
That's what swarthy is, brother.
Possibly, potentially dirty.
That's the new definition of
stinky.
swarthy, potentially dirty. As the two of you are led over, and you see a very nice looking building, almost as if a mansion had sunk through the upper layer of the city and had plunked itself down. It evokes this kind of imagery because you even, for someone who's not used to underground cities, Aelin, you wouldn't believe that something so nice is so far underground. Ophelia, it feels nice. But as he does, you can see different dim lights on in many windows coming from this 3-story building. Large windows with red fabric pulled over, only dim motes of light pulling from each of the windows as he steps up to the main door. And he takes the back of his right hand and kind of turns back and looks at the two of you. It shouldn't take long. She's expecting us. And almost to punctuate it, you hear a lock snap out from the door, and with a little bit of force, you see a human woman. Kind of darker skin, deep black hair, pulled together in a braid that goes down her back just past her shoulders. Sharp purple eyes that almost betray a hint of her human heritage. Wearing what can only be described right now as a business dress. A white undershirt with a black overcoat that gives her a bit of sleeves, and then a skirt that goes down past her knees. As she looks completely looks past the guide that brought you both here, and her eyes first focus on Aelin and then snap to Ophelia. You're here to explain yourself further, then?
One gets nowhere with miscommunication.
And that's why communication's being opened. A room has been prepared for you. Please. I'd love to have you inside. Gimson, you're no longer needed here. Of course. Y'all, I'd say take care, but do whatever you feel you need to do. That's enough. Please, come inside. If the two of you wish, you can enter.
Mm-hmm. Enter, I will.
Bomb check.
Bomb check? Please,
Bomb
make an
check.
investigation check.
That's fair.
Ooh, 9.
9. No bum. You step through the door?
No bomb. Thank goodness.
Okay.
Aelin? Alright.
Yes.
You step through, the lighting is dim, but not impossible to see. She shuts the door behind you, and you can hear her heels kind of knock off of the wood as she leads you over to a side room. Basically, it looks like it was being set up as a bit of an office. A like red cherry stained desk, about a little like 1.5 times larger than this woman would be herself, that she kind of steps around and sits down at. You can see 2 chairs are set in front of the desk for each of you. One chair has had elevation placed onto it to simulate the lower half of the body, to not be having one of you on such a lower level as the other. And in between the two of you and her, on the desk itself, you can see a collection of different papers, quills, ink, and one letter that has been neatly folded and set off to the side. You're granted permission to sit.
Consideration
I'll,
at this point already puts you leagues above our previous employer. I'll let you know that. And that is no mere flattery.
I'm not concerned about your opinions of your previous employer. Please.
Yeah, I'll take the backpack off and kind of, set it near the chair, and then I'll help Ophelia out and into, and then I'll sit down.
Ophelia?
I can't say you're entirely what I expected, but expectations are only that.
Most are disappointed their first time. It's just part of the trade.
Disappointed? No. Just different. Far be it for me to be disappointed.
Good. So, you're looking for a change of scenery, are you? It seems that you're probably a little bit more inclined to look for it due to the stirring, let's say, of the pot that is the surface above us.
I think that's a
That
good
would
way
be
to
the case.
put it. Yeah.
Let's see. Well, your letter got you through the door and seeing me. So, let's discount that letter entirely. Start off on, I'd say it'd be equal footing, but I don't wish to lie to you. And discuss where you'd like this to go. I'm not going to pretend that we've not been in contact with a couple individuals who aren't necessarily keen about the two of you, nor the others, into the Glaerun's gaze. But since it's our territory, we get to call the shots. Permission has not been granted on the lot of you just because you've been interesting. A lot of fun conversations about what you will do next. I figured I'd have to get a conversation in with you before an arrow goes through your skull. At the very least. So,
Do you consider yourself honorable?
no.
Do you consider yourself honest?
Unfortunately.
Do you consider yourself trustworthy?
At times.
What of loyalty?
To who deserve it.
And what of straightforward?
I would say my previous monologue speaks for itself about your current situation.
Then, speaking straightforwardly, I find those you're in contact with to be quite deplorable individuals, of whom my initial meeting and all things forward were things that I would come to loathe moving forward.
You're meeting with deplorable people. That is to be expected.
That's not what I mean. I mean when one isn't aware of what they are and grandstands upon achievements that don't entirely belong to them, to speak of grand ideals and what they'll bring, and seem to forget that at the end of the day we're all underground, all the same. I don't speak of any form of equal footing. I speak of one that doesn't believe equal footing exists in any capacity in this sense. And for that reason, I am here because I find Adler to be most disagreeable. With his methods, his speech, and his disregard for his lineage at that. Though that's a personal grievance more than anything else.
We haven't seen eye to eye with the organization he champion since half a century. We decided it was better to work apart afterwards. Ironically, that was before Adler actually had a coherent seat at the table, but what most people let us know is that things are ironically deteriorating with a businessman at the helm rather than an activist, which was their bread and butter at a time. To become a relic of what they once were in such a short time. It is a tragedy, but reverence is owed only to the spirits of those past, not those destroying a legacy in the present.
Can I get an insight real quick?
Sure.
12?
12. The immediate sense that you get is, as she had stated before, a straightforward bit. Almost a little bit of amusing herself on the state of the chain, of the Chainbringer and those below him, and Adler as well. Apparently something must have gone wrong. Something soured the relationship between the gangs. At one time, they might have worked together.
I find myself here not only because of Adler's disposition, but in some aspects, I find the business you conduct this way a bit more agreeable with my taste. As I'm sure you're aware, I am rather fond of that bathhouse.
And so the question remains to be asked, because nothing in this world is free. If you're aware of what we generally get up to, how do you think you're able to meld in with our group? Forgive me for being so blatant, but you and the rest of your peers have not come across as the silent or discreet types.
The Chainbringers are a group that acts. They do things. They make the world with their hands. By the work that you provide and the businesses you endorse, you strike me more as a group that knows and seeks to know more. Correct?
There's always more to know. That is very true.
One more time for me.
That's very true. There's always more to know.
And I happen to be someone that knows a thing or two. And I'm willing to trade that knowledge as an act of good faith for continued cooperation together.
A gift, perchance, for induction.
If it would solidify our actions, I do see the way your people look at us as we go through. Not even speaking in hushed tones, but absolute silence, yet knowing who we are.
Well, right now you're people that are considering flip-flopping for hitting a more graceful term. Betrayal is not taken lightly. Even though, to some of us, we know that you may have been betrayed first. If you were the progenitors of it, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
I would ask the question of how is it betrayal for someone we made no allegiance to and never made way to make allegiance to. We never swore fealty to their cause. We never made an oath. They were an employer. Nothing more.
What a way to think.
So, with my gift, though it's not a gift, I do want to make a trade. Your continued cooperation with us, what I know as we move forward, and I guess in some aspects protection from the Chainbringer's dogs while we're in your territory.
She nods.
A small investment wouldn't hurt either, but I'll let you make that decision after I tell you what I know.
For reasonably attainable information, something specific to you that we wouldn't be able to pull out from another individual, I'd say it's quite easy to not let my hand sign something it shouldn't regarding you and your 5 others. Protection view through mutual destruction, of course. Well, in the territory claimed by the Mistress can be given. Other possibilities are available depending on what comes in the future. But that's for the future. And how far do you want to commit?
You read my letter, didn't you?
I looked over it.
Did you read the end?
She kind of slides it over. You see the kind of sheet of paper. She kind of delicately unfolds it. How many of the 5 are aware, word for word, of what you told us?
Not a soul.
And she, for the first time as she's been trained on Ophelia, looks over at Aelin. And what are you so confident in another person to let them possibly sign you, among the rest of your peers as well, away for a shred of dignity for themselves? That's a possibility, is it not?
I would say I am loyal and trusting in my companion here. I may not know exactly how this place works, but I can see those who do, and I know when to and not to follow.
I see. She takes the paper, and you see her kind of like crumple it almost in her palm and drag it and drop it behind the desk. The information will be traded for continued allowance of safety on our territory. Afterwards, disregarding the paper that you've given, you'll reaffirm specifics about what you want, and then I will affirm specifics about what we get. Understood? A letter, no matter how lovely it is not binding.
We desire safety within your territory, a continued partnership, so to speak, of work and, when viable, a way out of the city. Preferably soon. As soon as possible. For that, we will reasonably accommodate your request, and I will provide the gift that we spoke of earlier, of which I believe is of great value to you, as well as any other musings I may happen to come across.
She almost takes a second. I'd like both of you to roll Arcana.
Oh, okay. Roll dice in my dice game.
I know my future.
Do you know Aelin's future too?
I can try.
I
Can't that only happen before you've rolled the dice?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
But
if
I
you-
don't know what that number is.
What?
That's JC's call.
I mean, he has already made a reaction of, ooh, that's bad. Can you
Fair
know my
enough.
future?
Yeah, don't worry about me. Don't worry
Yeah.
about me.
I know my future though. It's a 21.
Okay. Aelin?
7.
A 7. Okay.
I don't think I would have been able to help you.
It's okay. Don't worry about me.
As
Magic? I don't know anything about that.
as
I'll teach
you don't see anything, it just looks like a pause as she kind of puts her forefinger to the side of her face. Ophelia, you catch that she's communicating with someone. Some sort of arcane connection has happened, and then just as quickly as you've noticed it, she's removed her finger from the side of her face, and that can be arranged.
Consulting with others. Are you not the mistress we were promised?
You were promised nothing. You requested something.
So you are an intermediary.
She just almost narrows her eyes at you.
At least I find you more agreeable than Adler at this point. I guess we can get to the brunt of it later.
Please direct all of your concerns directly to me. It's my discretion on whether to care about them or not. We do have an accord, though.
With our re-established negotiation, I suppose I should greet you as you are, as the intermediary, lest we have any miscommunications. And Ophelia's going to extend her hand and say, "My name is Ophelia, and I happen to be with this party at this time."
She extends her arm. Jade. And shakes it.
Pleasure. Well, I've beaten around the bush with that gift. I suppose I should get to it. As we made our way here, I saw many documents regarding a mass emigration to the south, as well as the supplies they would be using. Am I to assume those would be going through the sewers that Adler, or the Chainbringers at this point, have opened up as a way of escaping the city due to unsavory circumstances?
If those were recently brought in, those were procured records from the chain, from the chain gang. Those were the groups taken through the rumored opened pathway to the south. They've been quite adamant about having a way to smuggle people out and charging some extortionist prices. But some people need to leave very badly. And off they go. They're not ours. We just need to know who's missing and whether they left of their own accord or if someone else got to them. We've been losing operatives. And as a result, wanted to make sure none of them are, well, not just simply passing on by moving to a different location.
The first part of this gift, I suppose, is that rumored way out is indeed true. I suppose you could call this betrayal, but we did clear that path. Managed to open the door that the city had sealed in its own way, solving their highbrow, I guess I'll say, riddle system to get that door open, as well as clearing out any unsavory things down there. So I can confirm for you that path is indeed true.
I see.
There is an aqueduct that you can wiggle your way through and escape. So I suppose confirming that isn't much of a gift, is it?
Your words did not contain the punctuation of a finished thought. There's something more to that, then.
I'm weighing my options. Was that enough to constitute a gift for what we've asked for so far? I'd hate to show my hand so early.
No, Adler's generally good for his word, so we were assuming that the route was true. We were actually waiting for word of dead bodies to confirm if it was a hoax or not, but even the Chainbringer wouldn't willingly allow that many citizens to fall under blade. They're after finances, not lives. Without purpose.
Then you're aware of where they're going, aren't you? To the central town of Neat Doré?
Aware. That's where most people wanted to go. Generally the safest of the central region cities.
Well, then here's the gift that I'll give you, so that you may turn this supposed economic downfall into your own pockets. The city of Neat Doré is gone, and everyone there along with it.
Razed to the ground.
I can barely describe what actually happened to it, but it's gone. Obliterated overnight. And Ophelia's gonna get kind of that like far away look she got when we talked about it before, but she's not gonna let herself slip into it before locking back in. Their whole proposition was doomed from the very beginning, but as Adler was so keen on making his penchant well known to me, I felt no reason to tell him. You're an information network. I'm sure you're aware of anyone that slipped through it even for a moment. Tell me, are you aware of the scrawling on the wall?
It was discounted as a child's prank.
No. I'd put that there in some feeble attempt to hide my guilt in what I would be perpetrating just by facilitating that. What were the exact words I wrote? I gotta go back and actually look. What did I write? It'll be interesting if I actually have it written down here. What session was the SOAR?
Oh boy. It's been a bit.
Like 7. Big question, underground management, Adler. Elf question was 8. Decaying hand, that was a trial. Ricky in the morning, market antics.
I didn't even write down what I wrote, which is crazy. I think I wrote something like, "There's nothing there, go back."
It was to the lines of that.
Yeah, there's nothing there, go back. The venture is doomed. Was exactly what I put on that wall. And when I quote that back to her, I want to insight check her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Dirty 20.
It's been brought to her attention. And basically, she's realized that you are the person that had put this kernel of doubt into her chest about the information that was supplied by someone under Adler. And now it has exploded into this kind of deep pit of realization that most likely everyone on that paper, which there were multiple pieces of paper, and the one that you read had at least a dozen people on it, are either heading to or already dead. I see. So you do know how to keep your mouth shut sometimes.
Lady's privy to her own secrets.
I'll keep that in mind.
But that is my gift. For our protection, continued cooperation, and everything that comes after. As we are now working towards a transactional relationship.
I can't say that your group is good for business, but we'll see if there's anything we need. Knowing that the South is less safe than it is, you may get both of your wishes fulfilled very soon, both for work and a passage. At the very least, I know some of you, and she shifts her glance back towards Aelin, can do dirty work. And so, an opportunity might be preparing itself. But as long as you're in our territory, you should not be harassed.
Does this mean the locals will stop clamming up the moment we get near?
They'll be willing to talk to you once word gets around. Now, if they're willing to tell you anything, that's a different matter entirely.
Our greatest gift and greatest punishment will always be free will.
Yes. We'll see if your free will gets you into an amicable state. At the very least, it leaves this door open for the time being. I'm not as foolish as I was led on to believe. I might have to get new eyes and ears out. I was under the impression that, well, maybe one of the absent people would have tried to throw fists if things weren't going their way, but that's not for me to know. Just if the others are unreliable or as unsavory as I've been hearing, keep them on a leash. At least the two of you are presentable.
I've granted them the opportunity to change their employment on much more favorable terms. If they can't look at that blessing, that's beyond my means.
Fair
We've gone
enough.
from being indentured, from being saved from a prison, to having an open line of communication. Leaps and bounds.
Indeed. Now, if that is all you wish to discuss with the Order of the Mistress, I have some orders to make. I'd be appreciated if I had some time to myself.
2 more relevant things for you. We won't call this a gift because I will ask for a small payment for it. We're down on our luck, you know. Have you heard of the undead uprising in the southern part of town?
Yes, it got quashed by the town guard, although no decaying corpses were found, just drunk rabble-rousers. So, I'm inclined to believe that there's not a pungent necromancer breaking the law somewhere in the city.
You'd be correct. That statement is not true. Because it was myself that plunged that region into the particular turmoil as a way to escape from an interaction. What that's worth to you, I don't know. But I will say, it proves that I'm quick on my feet, I suppose. So there's no necromancer. That much is truth. I'll confirm that for you. For a small financial contribution. I'm recently unemployed, you know. I'll roll you something for fun if you want me to.
I'd say roll me a persuasion. I was looking at my dice debating.
I'm gonna
Can
roll a
I have
resume check.
can I have advantage for being cool? I've been really hamming it up.
You have. I'm on the edge, so I'm going to err towards no. So just give me a standard persuasion.
I accept that. You know what? I'm not going to use my good boy point. 13.
13. She kind of like pulls her lip towards, like kind of pulls in her lips as in like a, almost like kind of a, like a thought crosses her mind. Interesting, but that information has already passed itself by. It does entail that you're a little bit quicker than previously thought. There might be something waiting back at the Gorgons for you, but who's to know?
Well, it was worth a shot.
It
And the
always
second
is.
point of order, before we leave, which is of grave importance, do tell me, what bathhouse do you frequent? I'd love to expand my horizons.
She smiles. Oh, don't you know? I have a personal one to myself. Work
It's
hard
no
enough
fun
and you'll
without
get
the
one of mine.
attendance.
Oh, it's never by yourself. You forget what part of the city we're in. It's personal because it's always geared towards me. Now, I am a busy woman. I would request that you excuse yourself from the premises. There's some work that needs to be done, and I need to figure out what to do with all of you, including the two making a mad dash towards appealing towards the authority of the library. We'll see what comes out of that. But until then, rejoice in your newfound security.
I look forward to many more transactional opportunities moving forward. And if nothing else, I hold you to the fact that you believe your bathhouse to be the most elite.
All right. And
I'm
with
gonna hold up my hand to Aelin to put me into the bag with a bit more regal sense this time.
With more regal sense, I will put her in the bag.
with a bit of a
I will.
regal positioning.
Yeah, I will also thank. Thank the lady. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us as well, and not just assuming that what you hear in the street is matter of fact. It means quite a bit.
Go on, give her a bow. It never hurts.
Do I have? Oh, okay. And I'll like bow awkwardly.
As with that little, I'll use guffaw to describe it. She does seem to be done with the two of you. And
Oh, figure.
Aelin, you're free to put Ophelia on your back and exit the mansion.
How does a guy spell guffaw? Try to Google that.
Guffaw.
Oh. I didn't want to say
Please dictionary to
snicker
understand
because it didn't really fit that. But the
No,
It
yeah.
was like
guffaw is
a-
a
it was like
loud,
a-
It's the
unrestrained
H. It's the
burst of
HEH
laughter,
of like, eh. But like, huh.
so- Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the no snort.
I want to take a quick look around the mansion as we're leaving, but I'm not going to be like too pissy if I don't get anything.
Uh huh. What are you looking
Like
for?
decor, items,
Easy enough. Make a perception
layout,
check.
guessing enough, yeah. Not good. 11.
You can't say much for layout, but most of it is older wood, very, very lovingly made and crafted. Obviously artesian. The other bit that you'll glean from this are a lot of custom paintings. You can see a lot of them are in shades of red, orange, yellow, all the way to like darker, like black and brown. Almost like as if someone's using almost like a watercolor-ish to make these vibrant warm colored paintings that don't really show anything. It's interesting. It's like blots of these colored paints on a canvas that kind of roll down, and almost as if you, or almost when you look at them, they almost like an optical illusion begin to shift in your perspective. But Aelin keeps walking forward, and you find yourself back towards the entrance, and the door
An
shuts.
insane check on the paintings.
An insane check.
an insane check. Can
You-
I Arcana check the painting?
Please.
Just that looking at him offhandedly? Like, is this depicting something
Make
of
a snap
more
check.
fantastical nature than I can describe? Not bad, 15.
15. It doesn't look arcane. It doesn't look like a description of something like that, but there is something deeper within the painting. You might just be looking at it from the wrong angle. And that's all I'll give you. As you guys exit the building.
Appreciate it.
We're going to move back up to the top. As the weight, which even though you guys are in the fast lane and no one else has been attended to or moved, it still has seemed like ages. Before you watch, as a individual, a elven, high elven individual, black hair that's beginning to ever so slightly turn gray, very short cut, almost enough to be a buzz, but like slightly past a buzz cut, with gold ornaments donning his ears all the way up, and a mass of like circular rings that look like they have several layers to them adorning his hands. He has a light blue cloak as he kind of steps past this door that is very hard to notice until it actually opens and your head kind of naturally jerks up to look at it with the sound. The noble resident of Alice Iriel? And he kind of looks over to the three of you.
Yes, that's us.
Oh, I would be assisting you this day. Please follow me.
Of course.
As you stand up, Valdin, do you move to stand as well?
I'm gonna wait to be beckoned by my superior? Question mark?
Come on, Valdin.
And I will hastily stand up, ready to follow and do whatever he requires of me. Because that's what I am now.
as,
For fun.
as you guys step. Oh, we got a cameo. As you step.
That's the dwarf.
Dwarf. He's older than all of us. The dwarf. As the two of you step forward, you follow this individual. And as he kind of closes the door behind you, almost as if like he's like beginning to move past you, and then like something strikes him. He's like, "Oh, yes. Do you require to see my registration, sir, before we continue?"
Yes, please.
He pulls out this kind of leather adorned packet, almost kind of like a wallet, but it's wider. And as he kind of flips it open, you can see a myriad of licenses on his portent. So you can see the low class non-offensive magics. You can see the low class offensive magics, and then you can see high class non-offensive magics. I will be more than capable of providing you passage and guidance through the library.
Sounds perfect.
Follow me. And he guides you all to this interlocking set of arcane runes etched in the floor and filled in with silvered powder. Glaerun, you've heard of them. You haven't used one before, but you do recognize it as... Valdin, you don't know what it is, but the second that you look at it, the word teleportation circle comes to your mind, like a thought that gets just pushed into your head without your permission. And although you don't know what that means, you do know what you do have that word to describe it in your head. Please step on, and we'll be at the library shortly.
Yes, let's.
The three of you step on, and he kind of moves his hands over and weaves this arcane sign. As you watch the silver glow, this white hot light, and then you feel the air pushed out from your stomach as the three of you, in a split second, are somewhere else. As you feel this dome over top of you, a kind of blocking out of light, this kind of dim, semi-opaque section. As without missing a beat, this elven man steps out over this small lip of this overcast orb. And as the two of you follow suit, your eyes drink in a skyscraper of scripture. Massive walls poured over with tomes, scrolls, and separate sections, staircases that lead to even more parchment, massive tables with maps and quills pulled off on it, and people of all types, shapes, sizes, backgrounds, all scholars, all here for different reasons, most completely unaware of what is happening outside. And with it, the two of you, aided by an assistant, now have a new path open to you. As that's where we're going to end session for tonight. Two new paths opened. Quite literally, a high road and a low road, as one of you are in the highest point in the city, and the other one is deep within Alinar Orin's underground. But nevertheless, that's a lisp. Nevertheless, two paths are open, and we'll see where they go. Thank you everybody so much for watching. My name is Jacob, or JC. These are four wonderful people that I've brought along with me for this ride. We're a little bit short tonight, but it still leaves for a good session with a ton of opportunities for next time. Thank you so much to Cody, Alpha, Helminia, and James for joining me. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching the stream. If you're watching it on Twitch, thanks for being here live, and make sure to follow if you haven't. If you're watching the restream on YouTube, thank you for making it all the way to the end, and subscribe if you haven't. Both are free. We'd roll dice regardless, but we love doing it with you here. Other than that, I hope you all had a wonderful session 20. Can't wait for session 21. The library and the Mistress's advances, as I have no better word for it, await. But until next time, I'll see ya. Bye.
You're missing something. You're missing something. Where is it?
Give us the
Where's
point.
my level up?
No, now you get leveled down. Go back to level 3.
What?
Bonked.
This is not even the worst I've ever had. Okay.
This is not even the worst. This one's difficult. I've got 2 contenders for it. But I think because of how it's gone, I'm going to dish out... I'm going to give Glaerun a little bit of props. I'm going to give Glaerun the dice. Good boy points specifically for taking a... taking a bit of a risk going up and putting his title up in a spot where
Pedigree on
literally
the wall.
everyone thinks they're being followed around and
His
thinks they're
pedigree
being
on the wall,
hunted.
Yeah.
As well as being willing to lean into the harshness of the city a little bit. Sorry, Valden, you got hit by the bus.
Yeah,
But
that's fine. You just
you're
hate me,
now-
it's whatever.
You're now in one of the more protected spots, or probably the second most protected spot of the city,
The most neutral, yeah.
for better or
I
worse.
And now I have a.
And now you have a piece of paper that you have no idea what it is.
I need a
academic
clarification.
excellence.
Really quickly. The library that they're at, is that the Great Library?
Yes, it is.
They were
This is-
teleported there.
Yeah.
Is Alnor Orin surrounding the Great Library?
Alinar Orin is at the foot of the Great Library. Although it's technically, as you guys have heard years ago, the Grand Library of Usapait is technically in Central Territory. It is in the northeastern specifically side of Alinar Orin, the outside of it that you never saw and was a completely different type of city when you all came to it as the Paphlios crew.
Okay,
Also-
so without going past the northern gate, we could not, without the aid of magic, get to the library.
Yes.
This is a by proxy teleportation service provided.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason they meter this shit out. Okay. All right. That's why that happens. I understand. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I understand everything now.
I'm about to get so many questions when I turn this stream off, but I'm going to do it
I was just a
regardless.
little confused because you were talking about a great library, and I'm like, I think you would have told us it was in town and we could see it. It's like, no, it's like a little ways off, and this is a satellite city, and like we're vibing.
Absolutely.
Oh, well.
But thank you everybody so much for watching. My name is JC. These 4 wonderful people are here tonight, and hopefully I will get to see everyone next week. But until then, have a great time and a wonderful night. Bye now.